What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are ready to go. Let's see. We got Al in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert. Good morning to Alfredo. Good morning to Amy, Andy, Bill, Brian, Doug is in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Frank, Jeff, Joe, Kevin, Lauren, Lucian, Marius, Martino. We got Michael in the house. Michelle. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mike. Ray Helms rocking with us. Good morning to Rick. Sarah. Good morning to you. Tim, Tyler, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to all the lurkers in the background of YouTube. They're just not going to say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. But Alicia, good morning to you as well. Yeah, SPY does not look like that was a bearish close yesterday. I don't know. Maybe my chart's upside down. For some reason, when I switch this over to this monitor, it just feels like it's like faded chart a little bit. I don't know, but the green is pretty bright. The green and the red. Otherwise, it should be like when I move it to another monitor, it's got like the grid lines in the back. So I don't know. It looks different today for some reason. Not sure why. But either way, pretty strong close yesterday. For sure. Closing right at the high. We had a little bit of, I think, a mini squeeze toward the end of the day. I know we were watching this inverted hammer. We talked about this high wave candle. That's clearing all of that at this point, so that's pretty solid. Today, right now, we had a little pullback, I think, from some job numbers that came in pre-market, probably about 30 minutes ago. Market sold off a little bit on that. Nothing too crazy, but right now we're opening inside day. Would probably expect a little bit of a pullback, 633.12. Let's see if that can hold. This is probably going to be your new candle. Decent volume on that one as well, but probably new candle if we start breaking this candle down. More importantly, if we get back into this, especially if it happens today, bearish engulfing candle would not be a pleasant view to the charts. But if we start breaking and we're closing below 631.22, that might pull us back. At least again, short-term rally. I don't think there's anything too crazy. But if we do have just monster selling coming in, maybe we get a little sign that the rally's over. For right now, I think buying the dips, even at these insane levels, still makes the most sense for me. Qs, okay, closed yesterday. Nothing too crazy. Inside day, the bulls did step in. We've held now this range 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Pretty good open for today. It is a slight retest from yesterday, so maybe a high wave candle. I don't think if we do get a solid pullback, look for like 563.16 in support. My target's to the higher side, somewhere about 565.53. So let's see if we can take it out. Otherwise, Q's looking fairly strong for the start. We do have that little resistance we got to get above, and let's see if we get a close today above 565.59, and that would show me at least that we're continuing the trend in the bullish direction. BTC, USD, Bitcoin's just hanging out, relentless. Yeah, it depends on where you checked this one, but we're just kind of hanging out in this Tuesday candle, so nothing too crazy. Right now, at least, we're bulls are fighting. They're pushing us back above this 118,353. To the upside for Bitcoin for today, you got about 119, 179. We'll see if we get closing above that. And then your next bigger level, which we've bounced into, but we haven't really broke out, is 120, probably about 120, 120.04, something like that. Other than that, still looks like Tuesday, pretty good breakout of consolidation day. We talked about yesterday being a retest inside day. That happened. And we'll see if the Bulls want to step in. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of. I think we probably don't go bearish from here. I think we probably either break out today. We have a good green candle, good follow through, or we have 1 or 2 more days of resting and then we kind of break out. But right now, Bitcoin still looks pretty strong. Looks like it's just holding down the fort at this point. Yep. So we had some earnings. So Tesla is the first one I see you guys looking at. Earnings not great. Cash flow also not tremendous too. So a little bit of decline in cash flow. Still have lots and lots of cash on hand, which is good. But Elon did try to come in on the conference call and tries to pump the stock, saying within the next 6 months or by the year ends, half the country looks like they're going to be having some robo taxis driving around. It doesn't seem like the market was really believing that time frame. So we didn't really expect good earnings. What I was expecting was maybe you get more of a pump from Elon. He tried, market just didn't have it. We'll see what this one wants to open. Otherwise, I have the lower level. We're opening at one now. If we start breaking down, I think somewhere around this 304.72. We almost just got there pre-market, not quite, but 304.72 would be your kind of buy spot on that one. Look for some kind of support there. Otherwise, you got a bigger spot right into this 300, 301.52, something like that. Other than that, if we open here, see if we can stay above 310.57, gives us a little bit more upside to like 314.33, but just kind of hanging out uh, for now, for the moment. We'll see if somewhere in this 310, 315 range probably is the range for today. Definitely going to trap some bulls. We are still in. I think we were expecting about a $24 move on Tesla, so we're kind of right in that range. I might put in a little security blanket for today that maybe this is the low day. Some bulls maybe want to step in. If you like Tesla at 332, you like it a lot more at 310, but I think you probably need a day or two, let some of those earnings settle out. It is definitely gap and go. Expected to have some volatility today with the earnings that came out. Otherwise, yeah, not nothing too crazy that we did not see coming. We just did not get the follow through for the Elon pump following it. The other one that looked good, GOOGL, and they had some. As soon as the earnings came out last night, I was playing this one. The report came out. It looked phenomenal to me. I don't even know. I wasn't quite understanding why I don't have the after hours on. But yeah, I didn't quite understand. We ripped and then they sold it back and kept going. So I was able to buy it off the lows, got back to the pretty much where I'm not holding Google now. I've made 2 hours within a 3 minute candle buying the dip after earnings yesterday. So I was just happy to get out. But yeah, everything looked good in terms of this. I think the biggest fear for Google was that Chat GPT and AI search was going to kind of take over and people going to stop searching Google. Um, this report said that the search actually went up about 11% quarter over quarter. So that's a good sign for Google. That takes some of the worries out, and obviously very profitable company, good report. For today, this is a lot of buying into this report. Even after hours, you had a lot of bulls. It gave opportunity for bulls to get into the trade if you guys liked it, if you were quick enough. I think we're looking for a gap fill somewhere probably up in this 202.82 zone. I got a couple big levels ahead of it. First for today, probably about 197.37. If we could breach through that, you got about 198.13, and then right into this 199.44. So a couple big levels, $200 also good psychological level. I think somewhere in the future, you're probably looking for about 205.36. Would like to see a little bit of a pullback. I think if Google can pull back, I think you have to buy the dippers looking to get into this one, especially if they were. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why. I do have a friend. He was trying to short Google down here too, but you have you have Google just rampaging. You get that buy the dip that comes in, and he was telling me, he's shooting me text. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go short Tessie down here." I'm like, "Why? They still make like this is short it here, short it here, short it here. Don't short it down here." So I don't know. But for those people that were just absolutely bearish again, the media narrative, Chat GPT taking over the world, nobody's using Google anymore, probably shook a lot of people out. They're just kind of waiting. And I think that report, more important than the money, I think the results in the searching actually increasing probably put a lot of fears away. So I think if this thing does want to, I don't think we get back to the candle. If we could get back, if the market wants to give us a gift, I think we're looking at 191.66 should be good, decent support. Otherwise, I think we only get down to like 195.40, and I think the bulls start to kind of rush into Google in this one. Other one was IBM, also reported yesterday. Their earnings looked pretty good as well. Up earnings per share, surprise beat by 5.7%. You also had a beat on the revenue by 2.34 percent as well. Not taking it too well in the stock market world, though. Again, we have a good push up. I think their guidance was a little weak. So I think guidance was a little unimpressive, but again, you have these stocks that just already ran. You have to not only beat earnings, but throw out some good guidance too. And they kind of lacked on that one. So I think the market probably more pulling back just on profit taking than anything else. Starting to hit some decent support. I would say a good buy spot, a tad lower if it wants to get there. You got 258.67. I can imagine some bulls kind of lining up on this one. Also, we did have a little bit of selling into this report. Probably a buy the dip. I wouldn't mind trying to play the fade on this one. We'll put this one a little bit higher on the list as well. There we go. The number one spot. Let me see some other tickers that you guys have thrown out. Hood, HOOD. Uh, Hanging out. When's their earnings? That's going to be an interesting earnings report. It's only up like 100% since the last time. We probably got a little bit of a decent move already in it. Yeah, you got July 30th, so we got next week. Hood's got earnings. So if you're in it for a swing or an investment, just be aware of that. Position yourself around next week. There could be some decent volatility building up. Other than that, we know Bitcoin kind of in a little bit of a choppy state. Still looks pretty strong. If Bitcoin breaks out, Hood probably goes with it up until at least the earnings come in. For today, you do have a little small resting day yesterday. Nothing too crazy. Just stayed right at that VPOC for most of the day. 102.19. I do like this gap above it. If we get a small little pullback, again, even though it's a gap and go from yesterday, it's really still just inside of this Tuesday candle. If we could get a pullback now that we have two little support levels as close as possible to 102.19, you might see a bullish day on this one. Probably targets it to 103.93. If it wants to do something crazy, probably got about 105.40. To the downside, if we can't hold yesterday's VPOC, which is right around 101.92, that probably takes us back to $100. For the most part, I think we continue to stay in this high wave candle for today. So a little bit of room in it. That is a pretty wide candle, but it looks like we're just little pullback hanging out, and we'll see if the bulls want to step in. They've done it before. They probably could do it today. I'd rather be more bullish than bearish on Hood. Nvidia, which just keeps on going crazy. Good gap up. I think a lot, and Amazon is up a lot too. You saw the chips kind of wake up, run after hours, AMD. I think that came off the Google report. So I think they're all sympathies. Again, not even from the numbers of Google, but their CapEx. I think that was a good sign for the chip makers, the semis. I think you had a good reaction from that. For today, you're opening right into a resistance. If we do break through that, you got about 173.34 on the charts. We'll see if we can hit that. A little bit of a retest gap from yesterday, although that's inside day. I think you have a little bit more gap and go. I'm not expecting a big pullback. Probably, I guess if we get a decent pullback, yeah, this 170.90 would be my zone. But probably more bullish out of the gate than anything. Maybe I could look for like a high wave candle. High wave candle, hang out right above here. Biggest problem for me is can we start breaking through at 173.34? Last night I think we got right into that zone. So we've already been there, just not open hours again for that retest. So 173.30. If we can get a close above that, that sets us up for another leg up on Nvidia. MBLY. Uh, Interesting. Is that from earnings? Nice. 21% move. Yeah, lots and lots of companies did report yesterday. Oh, this was today, this morning. 21% earnings per share surprise upside. They came in with a cool 17 million higher. It's a very, very interesting gap. We're gonna have to deal with that 200, $17.13. I'm looking at another big resistance on this one, somewhere around 1694. I think a lot of people probably looking for that gap fill 1736, but we do have those two resistances in the way. Really good consolidation. I think if we get a pullback, I wouldn't be looking for a full-on retest 1615. I think if you're going to try to play this one, you're looking for a small pullback. See if we can hold 1676. If we do, that the closest you can get to there, I think probably set you up for your best opportunity for a buy. But that looks, I think, a little bit more gap and go-ish than a retest. I wish this 1736 was a little further. If we get past it, you got 1768. I'm not sure if we do that today. But fairly good earnings. And again, this is more of a pullback off of a just monster run that we've had. Swing trade looks good. I think if you swing trade this one, that might be decent. Let's add this one to the list. We'll watch what that one does today. Spotify. Nope. Spot. There we go. Spotify, we got a little bit of a gap and go today. Just a lot of resistance above us on this one. I would want to see 722.40 get taken out before I really want to establish a bullish position, unless it's for the long term and you really love Spotify. But this thing is up massive. Big move. There's not a lot of volume to really push us either direction from here. So you kind of, I think you have a decent amount of room to run. Would like this one at least pulling back to like a 618 longer term. But a little bit of a gap and go. So you have your support for today. I would say that comes in roughly big key level 671.77 because it's a gap and go. Maybe we don't get there. Small pullback 680.84. That gets you decent room to like 693.54 if you like it. But then we start approaching all of that volume ahead of us. I want to see some actual follow through candles. Their earnings coming out soon as well. Tuesday, July 29th. So next Tuesday in the morning, they'll have earnings. Be careful of that as well. Yeah, if you guys are setting up swing trades, just double check when those earnings are. You don't want to get caught accidentally on the wrong side of a trade because obviously earnings could make some pretty hefty moves. PayPal looks good today. Kind of. It's a nice gap. I like that we're above the $75 range. Uh, it's a good gap. I think this one probably ends up fading. I like again where this one's opening, but I think we get a fade. Your buy spot probably close to 76.87. Not much really holding us back from a deeper pullback or a pullback, I guess, is better terminology. Look for resistance right around where we're opening, 77.87. If we could break through that, you got about 78.39. Anything in closing above 78.39, so 78.40-ish, I think that sets us up to start breaking. And psychologically, you got about 82.24. I think your next level from there, 83.38. But more importantly, I think you're going to start retesting back this 89.27 zone. So in a longer term basis, I think looks good. I think today, I don't know if I'd trust PayPal breaking through some of those resistance. Earnings also coming out with these guys as well. This is going to be July 29th, Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning looks like it's setting up to be a pretty big day. AMD, Lisa says, did I miss AMD? Nope. We got to it right now. Ooh, interesting. I only see one level, 159.48. Retest gap from yesterday. Good powerhouse move off that hammer from Tuesday. If AMD wants to remain strong, I don't. So I got yesterday's support built in at 157.92. I don't think if AMD is going to be that strong today, I don't think I want to see it get back down there. I think I want to see this thing get held up. Maybe 158.91 as an entry if you get that pullback. I think this was probably also a decent one for give me like a 3 to 5 minute indecision high wave candle. Something I could take a break, but that's right now. And again, we still have 9 minutes. We'll see where this one opens, but I like it bullish. Continue to be bullish. AMD above 159.48. Otherwise, it puts us back in this chop zone. I think we're still trying to buy the dips. But next spot, really good support. I would like to see hold 158.89 if we open and just give us a red candle that opens, something like that. So yeah, if you're in it, looks good. It looks like it wants higher from here. SoFi. SoFi is still hanging out. Nothing crazy. We've already put in a good move. It's holding pretty resilient at this point. We've already come down once. We had good support right around this $19.96. Bulls came in right where they should, bought this thing right back up. Impressive level for today. The fact that we are taking out 2163, the fact that we're getting above this last little pivot, 2167. I would use those two zones as support. You do have some more room to the higher side before we have to deal with that next resistance, which is right at $22. But from this point of view, it looks like it probably could get to 22 today, and I think we might have a shot to break through that. Again, earnings coming out Tuesday morning again. So get your popcorn ready for Tuesday morning. That one seems to be the day. Tessie, did we discuss Tesla? Yeah. Yep. Watch this 310.55 zone. If we can stay above it, or if the first candle comes in as panic and then all of a sudden later in the day we start breaking 310, I could put in a good shot that there's a maybe a little bit of a bounce in here. I don't know how far that bounce takes us. This 315 level looks pretty strong for resistance. If we could get past that, if we have a crazy bounce today, maybe you see 320 again as the next really big resistance on it. But we were pricing in about $23, $24. We're probably on the lower end of that for right now. I think you have better risk reward to the higher side. But if we start breaking 310.55, maybe we get down to like 304.78 for today. Bull. And then I see Apple on the list. I do want to talk about Apple. Bull is don't even worry about Bull. Don't worry about it. Uh-huh. The only time you should really have to worry about Bull and worth checking seems to be the last hour of the day, which is just a buy at the end of the day at this point. Everything else, it just chops around all day and then does nothing. Pretty good close. We talked about this level, this $17.19 zone. That was a decent resistance. Great close above it. Still two strong days now in a row of buying. Maybe get a little pullback first. And look for your next resistance, $18.05. That's going to be a big one. If we could start to get candles to close above it, our next target takes us into this $19.39 mark. So that would be a huge move again from how Bull's been trading, and I've been keeping it on my charts. It has not done much for most of the day until the very last hour. That's when the squeeze seems to come in on it. Dell, and then we'll take a look at Apple. Dell is chilling for now. Nice little gap up. We are above yesterday's candle. I think this one probably is a buy the dipper. Not sure how far this one wants to come back. Your first level, 127.49. See if that holds. If it wants to do a full-on retest, 127.04. You have some decent room to the higher side on this one. I think you have 130.17. Let's get this one higher. It's got a decent range on it. Decent range on this one. Apple AAPL. So good candle on Apple. I was looking at this one yesterday. Nice hammer that kind of came in. Decent volume on it. The spot for me, if we could get, and you're just holding that, no, we don't need these lines anymore, but we're just holding this 200 for right now. Below that, you have, and right now, kind of opening into a little chop. If we could get some support coming in somewhere around 213.35, which it looks like it's trying to hold, that would be a decent spot to look for some kind of entry. You're going to have to break through 213.60. So it depends on where this one opens. On a swing trade basis, yeah, I think if you start clearing yesterday's highs, 215.17, probably puts it off to the races. I got targets up to like 219, 220 for now. Obviously, could go more, but we'll see. Watch for today if we start taking out, I think it's 215.66. That's coming off of this VPOC from yesterday. 214.66. I'm sorry, 214.66. We tried it once. We shown that we could get above it. They came down. We rejected that twice. I think setting that 214.66. I like this entry a lot. If this thing comes down and just breaks through, forget about it. Just wait for another bigger retest somewhere. But for right now, I think we're just kind of hanging in there. I think that 214.66 target for me takes me to about 218.96 for 2 hours. So I'm watching Apple heavily to see what happens today. Again, most tech companies did report fairly well. So that could give a decent boost maybe to Apple. Also, if we at any point get a deal with China, if that headline comes across, and everybody is concerned about August 1st, because that's when the tariff timeline starts to die down, where now we're going to start imposing, but we've already made deals with most of the bigger countries. So the only real country we have to worry about now is China. And if they could get a deal done before August 1st, that's going to be a pro Apple headline. So you'll probably get a nice little boost on that one. So just watch it, see what happens on Apple. But if we could go a little bit higher, if it could find some momentum, great. Otherwise, it's just in between two very tight VPOCs for the moment. SMCI, nice little gap today. And again, semis, Nvidia still looks decent. AMD looks decent. You're at very close to all-time highs on Nvidia. You still have some room on AMD. This one is a retest gap. See if you could buy it as close as possible to 51.74. Other than that, targets for today probably about 52.44. Crazy day on SMCI. I think takes us to like 52.84. Alfredo wants to take a look at SPY again. SPY dipping. Nope, just keeps going. Yep. So opening at new highs. New. I think we were there pre-market, but new live market highs if we get there. Other than that, looks like a buy the dipper if you get a pullback into 633.14. At this point, even though it's very uncomfortably high, I think it is still buy the dip territory. So we'll see. Tessie just got a red candle. That one's coming down. Let me see if there's any other tickers. HRL. Hormel Foods. CMG is another one you could probably look at. They did report earnings not that great yesterday. Hormel Foods, I'm not seeing any gap on this one. Looks like it's just kind of opening where it closed, unless I'm missing something with it. Longer term basis, it's tough. You are at a little bit of a longer term support, but that is a pretty mean downtrend. So if you like it long term, you could probably just be scaling into it slowly. But for right now, it just looks like it's kind of hanging out until you see a breach of like 31.70. You start getting candles close above it. That would be a little bit more confirmation that maybe this is a longer term double bottom. We start going from here. Otherwise, you're just kind of catching a falling knife on that one. Let's see. CMG. Let's take a look at CMG. Yep, not a not a good location. It's down a lot for today, so be careful of shorting this one at open because this is a massive dip. You do have one big support around 45.73. I think if we start getting candles closed below that, you're kind of nothing really holding you back until I wouldn't be surprised if we see a $38.64 print at some point. Other than that, that is Mobileye got a little alert. That is the morning bell. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. And YouTube, I'll catch you guys later. Be safe. Later, guys.